Hi there, super nice of you to check out a brand new episode of our PLNTSdoctor series. Today we will dive into the world of prayer plants. I will walk you through all the elements on how to care for many species of Calathea, Maranta, Ctenanthe and Stromanthe. Whoa, a mouthful. Anyways, from light and water tips to how to fertilize and propagate these plants and which pests to look out for. So, if you want to know more about these amazing and beautiful plants, keep on watching. I will link everything I used in this video in the description below. Prayer plant is a collective term for a few plant species like the Calathea, Maranta, Ctenanthe and Stromanthe. If you ask me, these plants are one of the most beautiful tropical plants, thanks to their beautiful decorative leaves. Luckily for us, prayer plants are easy to grow, but they do have specific needs. Ready to become a real prayer plant pro? Let's get into it. Prayer plants are beautiful houseplants and also easy to care for. They can be grown in a hanging basket or larger pots. There are countless species, many of which have beautiful coloring, interesting leaf patterns, and leaves that fold and unfold depending on the time of the day. Even though you may not know the term prayer plant, I'm sure you will recognize one of these beauties around me. The prayer plant is a slow grower and owes her name to her folding leaves when the night falls. It is believed that when the leaves are closed, raindrops can fall through the leaves and reach the roots. How cool is that? For this video, I have surrounded myself with the most common and beautiful prayer plants, like the Calathea herbifolia and the Maranta light veins. So now that we know what prayer plants are, let's move on to the best care tips. Let's start with finding the perfect spot for your prayer plant. Due to their tropical origins, prayer plants don't like to be kept in extremely cold or warm temperatures. They thrive when the temperature is around 80 or 23 degrees Celsius. This makes her the perfect indoor houseplant. Prayer plants can be grown in hanging baskets or in planters. They are not picky about where they are placed, but keep in mind that they should not be exposed to direct sunlight. Too much sun can scorch and dry out the leaves of the plant. Bright, indirect light is best. They should actually be in a room that faces south or west. This will allow light to get to the plant without exposing it to direct sunlight. Your plants will grow full and green without becoming spindly or long as they reach for more light. Balance is key here. Do you spot the colors of your plant's leaves fade? That's a sign that they are receiving too much sunlight. If there is not enough light, the leaves will close at night and will fail to fully open during the day. So make sure to keep an eye on it and adjust its location when needed. When you touch the soil of your prayer plant, it should be slightly damp. You want to make sure that the soil doesn't dry out, but also avoid it from getting soggy. My tip, always feel the soil with your finger before giving your plant a new sip of water. I also advise you to use a room temperature water, as too cold water will cause stress on your plant's roots. Besides that, prayer plants can develop brown edges on the leaves due to high salt and mineral content in most tap water. So I recommend watering with filtered water whenever it's possible. If you don't have access to a water filter, letting the water sit for a day or two before using it can also help to reduce some of the chemicals. Exactly how much water your plant will need will depend on so many circumstances, so create your own watering schedule based on your plant's needs. Of course, and this goes for most plants, your plant will need lots of water in the spring and summer months, and you can reduce your watering in the winter months. Due to their tropical origin, prayer plants love a higher humidity. If its leaves are too dry, they will turn brown and begin to drop off. Providing the proper humidity for your prayer plants, especially in the winter, can be challenging, because you don't necessarily need to give your plant more water. In fact, prayer plants are sensitive to overwatering, so make sure to not overwater your beauty. I have a few tips that will help increase humidity without harming your plant. Installing a humidifier can help increase the humidity when the winter air dries out the indoor environment or when temperatures rise during the summer. I like to use a geurwolkje aroma diffuser. Besides increasing humidity, it also spreads a nice scent through my home. Another thing you can do is place your plants in the bathroom. The steam from the shower and bath will help add humidity to the air. Keep in mind that some bathrooms don't have the right light for your prayer plant. So if that's the case, you should skip this tip and go straight to misting. Misting your plants with a plant sprayer is also great to add some humidity. A light misting session once a day will keep your green friends hydrated. Lastly, you also can place your prayer plant near other groups of plants, as plants naturally produce water as they grow, or place a bowl of water near the plant. Or place it on a tray filled with water and small stones. Prayer plants need to be grown in a substrate mixture that is well draining. They have super fine roots and are sensitive to root rot, so it's important that the soil drains well. They will do well with a regular potting soil like this. But it's even better to make an ideal mixture by mixing your own substrates. Prayer plants prefer a soil mix that holds moisture and allows excess water to drain. That's why we suggest a do-it-yourself mix of potting soil, French bark, sphagnum moss and perlite. Also make sure to use a nursery or a regular pot with drainage holes, so excess water can run out. The soil and your watering schedule go hand in hand. So if you want to make sure that you have the right balance, I recommend using a Tessa water meter or an Naomi plant sensor. They will help to keep track of when your prayer plant wants another sip. Prayer plants are quite slow growers, so the best way to enhance growth is by fertilizing your plant during spring and summer. I recommend feeding your prayer plant once every few weeks during this time, using an organic fertilizer like our Plants Nutrition. The more of these beautiful prayer plants, the better, right? Luckily for us, it's super easy to propagate prayer plants. Propagating can be done through two main methods, division and stem cuttings. The method that you choose depends on how mature your plant is, as well as your personal choice. When using the division method, carefully separate your mother prayer plant, ensuring a good amount of roots remain on both parts. And plant straight into your well-draining potting soil. You can also propagate your Maranta through stem cuttings. Take a cutting below a leaf node and grow it in your propagation station or tube. After a few weeks, you should start to see new roots growing. Once these roots have matured a little, you can plant them into well-draining soil and care for it as you would for your mother plant. Super easy, right? Unfortunately, with plants can also come some plant problems. Besides being sensitive to overwatering and brown leaf edges due to chemicals in tap water, your prayer plants are prone to the same pests as other houseplants. The most common ones are spider mites and mealybug. These pests love the plant's bushy leaves, but luckily they hate high humidity. Because the prayer plants thrive in high humidity, this is an easy way to keep pests away. Besides that, using neem oil or biological pest control can help you eliminate the plague. Want to know everything about plant pests and how to get rid of them? Then I advise you to check out our PLNTSdoctor video about plant pest control. I will leave a link in the description below. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that with these guidelines you will become a pro in taking care of your prayer plants. If you have any related questions, you can ask them by leaving a comment. And if this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to see you back for our next video. Bye bye!